Welcome to Male Talking Points. On June 24th, 2022, Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court of the United States. And now some of us in the Red Pill community are asking what's going to happen next. How will this affect men going forward in this country? When you watch interviews with any woman on TV about Roe v. Wade right now, you will see lots of women claiming abortion rights are being taken away from women who were forced against their will and got pregnant. In reality, we all know that a percentage of these women were out riding the CC and got pregnant because they were not taking precautions needed not to get pregnant. And all of us know damn well there is a percentage of women who use the force against their own will as a mechanism to make them the victim so they can get away with the bad behavior without anyone questioning them or holding them accountable for their actions. The one thing I can see happening going on from this point forward is the amount of false accusations against men going up, as well as paternity fraud spiking like you've never seen it before. It's basically safe to say if these women are not responsible enough to take a pill or have an IUD to prevent pregnancy while they're out riding on the CC, you can guarantee that they're going to do whatever it takes to find the right guy that they can claim to be the child's father to flip the bill for this child regardless if it's his child or not. This is a good time for the men's rights movement to really start petitioning their Congress officials to have mandatory paternity tests given at birth before anyone's name is listed as a father of a child. We all know if a woman is married to a man she quote-unquote loves and she can lie to him and trick him into thinking the kid is his, that some woman that's basically sleeping with everything she meets at the bar will have no problem throwing some schmuck under the bus to make him financially responsible for a child that is not his. A birth certificate is a person's first government document, and like any other government document, it needs to be correct. It wasn't until a couple years ago when I became red-pilled after being ran through the family court system that I started looking at things for what they really are. When I was younger, I just went around blindfolded, just basically accepting what people were telling me. I was never a fan of abortion, and I've always believed it was murder. In the 1990s, when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, a lot of these women were claiming that they were forced against their will, and being a beta male back then, you were more inclined just to keep your mouth shut. This is probably because at that time there was a small percentage of people who had the internet, and there was still no social media, so the small pool of women you had in your social reach was basically all the women you had as potential mates. And being a beta male or one of the 80%ers, you knew that you did not want to say anything that would screw up your potential, so you just kept your opinions to yourself. But now it is the 2020s, and thanks to social media such as OnlyFans, TikTok, and Twitter, men can now see women's behavior for what it truly is. After the decision was made on June 24, 2022 by the Supreme Court of the United States, I was really curious to see real statistics on abortion. So I looked around and found an article by the Guttmacher Institute. In Volume 27, Issue 3, issued in September of 2005, which was titled Reasons U.S. Women Have Abortions, the Institute basically examined information from surveys that were given to women at abortion clinics on why they were getting an abortion. The survey given to the women basically had multiple options that the woman could select on why she was having her abortion. Basically, 74% of the women who were having abortions said it would interfere with their education. Does that sound like a woman who was being forced against her will? It looks like they made a decision that benefited themselves, a very selfish decision. So why are men being shamed for this? 73% of the women in the survey claimed that they could not pay for the baby. Once again, this shows how little accountability that women are held to. Men only have two options when it comes to preventing pregnancy: wear a condom or not have sex at all. These ladies could have been taking a pill, or they could have had an IUD, which is good for many years. I was curious on how much an IUD costs. Depending on where a woman lives, it's anywhere from free to $1,300. Even if a woman had to pay $1,300, that is still way cheaper than getting pregnant and ruining her education goals or having a baby she can't afford. The next biggest percentile on the list was the 48% of women that said she did not want to be a single mother or was having relationship problems. So it's very clear to see that most of these children could be alive if their mothers had made a simple decision of putting contraceptives at a little higher rank in their priority list. I am sick and tired of hearing about these women forced against their own will when that category of abortion is at the very bottom of the list as reasons why they're getting an abortion. In conclusion, from this little bit of information I have found based upon the subject of abortion, I think it's going to be very vital for men to really cover their asses here in the near future. With this option being taken away from women who seem too incompetent to take a pill or get a contraceptive that's good for many years, it's safe to say that these same women will have no problem claiming that the men they allowed in their bodies will easily claim that you forced yourself upon them. It is very clear that this group of women who are willing to go get abortions take zero responsibility for their actions. These are the same strong, independent women that claim my body, my choice, but obviously are not doing very good at making the right choice for their body. We all know there's going to be a fallout for men because of this decision. Like I said before, I think a handful of these women will make these kind of decisions will not have any problem trying to get a guy to think that a child that is not his is his. I also see the rise of men being accused of forcing themselves upon women. June 24, 2022 has now become a new chapter for MRAs, Mgtows, and red pill men. I believe we're going to see new challenges because of this decision, and I also see new opportunities for the men's rights movement to put new laws in place that help men and children's rights. It is time for us to stand up for our rights as men against women that are not willing to hold themselves accountable for their own bad decisions. Until next time, this is Male Talking Points.